Okay, for the last time this year, we are joined in studio by Gabriel McSharry, medical herbalist and nutritionist. Good morning, Gabriel.
Morning, Margaret.
Now, Gabriel, we're going to start off talking this morning, but of course people can send in their questions to 083 3500 530 or call us at 08183 65 500. And we're all going to be overeating over Christmas, whether it's big dinners and chocolates and all the rest of it, but we really still need to bear in mind trying to keep, I suppose, a healthy system.
Yeah. Well, if you're like we all do, I guess, around Christmas Day anyway, eat to excess, but there's certain things you could do that you could maybe add to the whole meal that would aid things. So some things that aid digestion are let's digress a bit. Just prior to a meal, the body gets itself ready for food generally, and so you start to salivate, you produce saliva, and the stomach produces acid, and the gallbladder might release bile, and the pancreas produces enzymes, cholecystokinin, and so on and so on. And all these aid in the breakdown and the digestion and the absorption of food. And if you eat to excess, obviously that resource will be could get exhausted or put under strain. So if you can create more enzymes and acids and saliva and stuff, if you're eating a lot, then that'd help digest the food. So things that were used in the past were bitters, like bitter tonics, so foods that have a bitter taste. Now, we use this in herbal medicine. It's called the bitter principle. So bitter tasting herbs, once they touch the tongue, it really sends a signal down to the body, and the pancreas tends to produce more pepsinogen, cholecystokinin, and the stomach releases more acid, and it kind of prepares the digestion better. So, and bitter foods are important generally if you can add them to your diet generally as well.
Bitter foods?
Yeah, so do you know, like we tend to eat a lot of say sweet foods these days, but there's also sour foods, bitter foods, and blandish foods, and it's important to get all kind of taste there, but from, I guess, a young age we become more fond of the sweet side of it. And bitters, we kind of grow to like hate these, and we tend not to eat them, but they're important. And a good example is rocket. It's if anyone know rocket, it's a green leaf, and
you'd get a lot with, I suppose, with salad.
Yeah. So it's like a lettuce leaf, or your greens, radicchio and even dandelion greens. These are all bitter foods one can add. But if you're having a salad, add some rocket, and you can see, you'll notice it may be unpleasant at first, but if you can get used to eating bitter foods or incorporating them into meals, it'll definitely aid digestion in general. So on to Christmas Day, you know you're going to have a big dinner, and probably
Christmas Day is one of those days where I think people that normally may not have a fry for breakfast will sit down maybe to something like that. Then later on they're going to be eating their big dinner, and it's one of those days when you just seem to open boxes of chocolates and biscuits and you name it, it's all there, and people seem to just not stop eating that day. I think everyone's like that.
Yeah. So if you have bitters, I use like herbs like gentian and wormwood, and these are the kind of all our bitter herbs, just a tincture, and you put a few drops in your tongue throughout the day a few times, and that'll definitely help you digest such excesses of foods. But and try and split it up as well. Instead of eating a massive amount in the space of 1 hour, eat slowly, spread it out a bit, and you shouldn't overload the system as much. On as not to be a big humbug, onto the issue of sweets and chocolate. Well, chocolate is a big one, and definitely everyone's going to be eating some or a lot of chocolate over the Christmas period. But there's a healthy way of doing this, and it's mainly if you emphasise dark chocolate. So dark chocolate is, well, the basis of chocolate is cocoa, or COCA. It's pronounced cacao in the States, I think, and other countries, but cocoa we call it here. And some people used to have it as a kid as a drink, cocoa powder with a bit of milk or a bit of water and a hot cocoa before bed or whatever. So that's the base ingredient in chocolate. If you get an 80% chocolate, it's going to be a dark chocolate, and it actually will have a bit of a bitterish taste to it. Cocoa is bitter, but if you have 80%, then the 20% is generally sugar or something to sweeten that. Now, it might take a bit of a while to get used to it, but it's if you can, it acts as a nice treat, dark chocolate. And over Christmas, emphasise the darker chocolates, because cocoa itself is a herb, and it's really good for the nervous system and the cardiovascular system.
Not everyone you see likes dark chocolate. I suppose that's kind of
true. Yeah.
Like, I personally wouldn't be a fan of dark chocolate, but I suppose it's something that you'd have to get used to.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of comparing it to, say, the dairy chocolate, like, because it won't taste, if you like dairy chocolate, and nearly everybody does, dark chocolate doesn't taste the same, but it's something you can acquire the taste at. And if you made that transition to kind of phase out the dairy chocolates that have quite a lot of sugar and stuff, emulsifiers, into a darker chocolate, over time you'll learn to like the darker chocolate. And the good thing about it is it's actually has health benefits.
Listener wanting to know, Gabriel, what you think of all these indigestion remedies.
Right, indigestion remedies. I wonder, would that be...
I'm presuming they're talking about,
yeah, well, if...
the brands you can drink, or those tablety things you chew.
Yeah, it sounds like antacids. And antacids, in fact, to give a statistic, I think they're the most commonest over-the-counter medication sold worldwide, so obviously there's a big demand for that, and I definitely would link that to people's diet not being that good, or containing a lot of processed foods. But I think if you had like once a year you had indigestion because it was Christmas and you overate and you used them, well, that's okay. But if it's something that you're taking them daily for long periods of time, I would really look into seeing a nutritionist or something, or changing diet, or trying a few things to rectify it, because it's just not good to suppress acid all the time. And long-term use of the antacids isn't good in general.
Okay.
So that'd be my opinion on it.
So just really, for this person, they obviously must be taking quite a lot. They need to look at their diet and what they're...
long-term, any longer than a month or two, definitely...
you're eating something that's not agreeing with your system, or not eating properly.
Yeah, or there's something else going on. I definitely see a professional, and it's not good to be taking them long-term. And there's people I see in the clinic, and they're taking them for years, before they might come and even consider changing diet or something. They just don't know, maybe, but... yeah, definitely it's something that can be rectified over time with some dietary guidelines and some herbal medicines, and you won't need them anymore then.
Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and keep your questions coming in to us to 083 3500 530 and call us at 0818 365 500. We're back after this quick break.
Ocean FM. Northwest Today, with thanks to Enda Lannon Pharmacies, Ballysadare and Gurchin. For all your prescription and pharmacy needs. Enda Lannon Pharmacies, putting your health first. 071 9133 033. Ocean FM.
Oh ho ho! Hello there, boys and girls. This is Santa calling from the North Pole, and I just want you to know that we're working night and day in the toy factory, getting all your beautiful presents ready for Christmas. I'll be speaking to you live on Ocean FM on Christmas Eve morning at 10 o'clock. And don't forget to write to me. I just love getting your letters. So that's Santa, Ocean FM, Christmas Eve morning at 10 o'clock. See you soon. Oh ho ho!
Happy Christmas from everyone at Ocean
FM.
Ashtree Garden Centre, Drumstevlin, Donegal Town. Come and visit Santa in his grotto this Saturday from 2 to 5 p.m. Lots of ideal gifts for the gardener this Christmas. Holly wreaths and Christmas trees. While you're there, call into the Potting Shed Tea Room for all your gardening gifts this Christmas. Call to Ash Tree Garden Centre, Drumstevlin, Donegal Town.
If you're thinking of an evening out, think La Sabia Restaurant Bundoran. Now open from 6 p.m. 7 days a week. Serving a la carte, pizza and pasta. Also serving Sunday brunch. Party bookings accepted now. Call 07198422253. That's 07198422253.
Ballyshannon Coal are delivering top quality coal at unbeatable prices 6 days per week in Ballyshannon and the surrounding areas. Also by cash and carry at our depot on the Baleek Road, Ballyshannon. Don't be left out in the cold this winter. Call Ballyshannon Coal today on 07198222555.
Christmas cards and gifts at Gift World on the Diamond in Donegal Town. Choose a card for someone special from a selection to suit all ages and tastes. Choose from a superb range of quality Christmas decorations. And for that special Christmas gift, choose from a treasure trove of quality gifts. Visit Gift World this Christmas on the Diamond in Donegal Town.
Life is full of moments, the small ones and the big ones, the once-in-a-lifetime moment, the silly moments, the sweet moments, and the moment you've been waiting for. You choose the moments and Pandora Jewellery make them unforgettable. Crafted in solid gold and sterling silver, Pandora hand-finished jewellery can take you from casual to chic in a moment. Take a moment and make someone's Christmas unforgettable. Visit your local Pandora dealer Argento at Market Street, Sligo.
Good news for Sligo, Leitrim and Donegal.
eTutorials.biz is a great way for you to learn Microsoft Office. Easy, effective and step-by-step. eTutorials.biz.
What's in the bag? Is it my Christmas present?
No, it's my Christmas present.
Let me see. This year, Sony Centres have Christmas in the bag with great value gifts including Walkman MP3 players, Cybershot digital cameras and even headphones from as little as $9.99. Bag yourself some magical offers. Get down to your local Sony Centre today.
What do you need a present for anyway? You have me.
Sony Centres. More Sony for your money. Prices recommended retail price. Prices in store may vary.
To have your say, call the Northwest Today comment line on 0818 365 500. Text your comment to 083 3500 530.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. We are in the company of Gabriel McSharry, medical nutritionist and herbalist. Now we were talking before the break about diet and that, and you mentioned dark chocolate, because we'll all be indulging in the chocolate and that over Christmas. So dark chocolate is the way to go. Yeah, definitely. If you like chocolate, win yourself onto a dark chocolate. I think 75 to 80% cocoa and above. I think it can go up to 90, but it wouldn't taste that good. But it's something that if you like a bit of chocolate and you can incorporate it into your diet, that's something to do, to incorporate in. And there's a lot of scientific literature on cocoa, mainly from dark chocolate or cocoa powder or other foods that might have a high cocoa content, to show that it's beneficial on the cardiovascular system and on the nervous system, and it's high in antioxidants. So a good quality cocoa and a good quality chocolate, where possibly grown organically and stuff, it can be a medicine, So again, it's like incorporating something that'll taste nice into your diet, that can act as a treat and can also be good for you. Okay, this listener wants to know, what would a burning pain at the top of the back, worse in the morning, what could be the problem there? Burning pain at the top of the back. I presume that's around the shoulders. They would. Yeah, I'm wondering, is it an injury or a pinched nerve? So then, when they lie down at night, they're obviously horizontal, and either circulation becomes poor to the area or a shoulder, and then that's why it's worse in the morning. Is it a structural thing? I'm not too sure about that one. It's a bit vague. Could it be anything, with the quality of mattress they have, or pillows or anything like possibly that? Yeah, they can try changing around the pillow a bit, use a lower pillow. Generally some people use too high a pillow, so try a lower pillow, and try and see you twisting and turning a lot. And if so, try to rectify that, and notice maybe if you're sleeping in an awkward position that could lead to a kind of a creak in the neck and stuff like that. If it's ongoing long term,
It could possibly be some sort of pinched nerve up in the shoulder blades,
right.
and which just gets worse when they lie down, you know. And they can try lying on a hard floor for 10 or 15 minutes during the day and see does that improve it. Sometimes that can improve posture and stuff
right.
quite a lot.
Okay, this question just simply says, what about Underberg?
Underberg?
Is that a herb or something? Or?
No, it's not a herb. I don't know what that is.
No?
Underberg.
Don't know. That's simply what it says.
Sorry,
okay.
caller.
All right. Have you any suggestion for cramps in the legs, mainly at night?
Yeah. I'd look at, are you over consuming caffeine or caffeinated beverages that can lead to cramps? And the reason it does is you increase the amount of calcium and magnesium you pass in the urine, so it's kind of a mineral imbalance. So that's important with cramps. Anyone who's suffering a lot of cramps, look at electrolytes, sort of sweating a lot and losing a lot of salts, like calcium, manganese, but also sodiums. And if so, they could supplement with a sea salt by just putting it on their food. So I've seen people who want to go on a complete health regime and cut out all processed foods, and that's great. I encourage that, but then they don't add salt to their foods, and then they're getting no source of salt, and they can, if they do a lot of exercise as well, become deficient in some of the electrolytes. So an unrefined sea salt could be beneficial there and has helped people with cramps. Magnesium is a big one, that if you go deficient in it, you tend to get a lot of cramps. So there could be a few things. Stretching is very good. So if you get a lot of cramps at night, maybe stretch in the evenings, stretch out the legs and the muscles and stuff, and see does that improve it.
Okay. This caller, cold sores. Son is in mid-20s and gets a lot of cold sores.
Right. Well, if he's getting a lot of cold sores...
he gets them on his nose and his lips.
Right. If he's getting a lot of viral activity, it's a clear sign that his immune system is low. So, you got to work out why that is. Is it a really poor diet? Is it poor lifestyle? Is he not sleeping well? Is he not exercising? So on, so on. And... with cold sores, I give a cream that has herbs that are antiviral, and they work very well, but I also treat internally. So, I give immune stimulant herbs as well as antivirals. And, I give dietary recommendations so he can build up the body again. If he's getting them long term, it's quite obvious that the immune system is low.
Okay, so it's all to do with his immune system.
Yeah, well, the way cold sores goes is the herpes simplex 1 virus is there. You have it, and there's nothing you can do about it really. It just lies dormant in the nervous system for your life, and that's the way it goes. Now, some people might get one cold sore a year. Some people might get one every few years. Some people might get one every month. But if you're getting them recurrently, it's an indication that the immune system isn't keeping that virus at bay, and it's coming to the surface a good bit. And so immune system is important, but also I give antivirals and stuff
for the cold sores.
Yeah, because it's a virus,
And the way people say it's, if someone has a cold sore and that, like, don't use their cup. Maybe make sure that they aren't using the same cup as you or
Definitely,
whatever. And
yeah, I would exercise that. Hygiene, don't kiss people. Definitely, one thing that's important to note is don't kiss babies. So if you have a new baby and you've well-doing friends or family coming over and want to kiss baby, maybe watch that, because if they have a cold sore and they pass it on to a baby, it's okay for an adult, we can take the virus. It never gets more than, say, maybe a scar on the lip or a scab, but for a young neonate, it can be quite severe, so watch it passing on, and watch the hygiene. And if you are putting a cream on, put it on the area, and then if you're putting it on another area, maybe use a different finger, so watch cross-contaminating, say, the face itself, that you could lead to the spread. And if you have one on the lip, maybe don't attend a dentist while you're doing it. If you're safe to get a filling and there's going to be stretching and irritation in the area, that can lead to spreading it as well. So
I know that people as well kind of pick at them, and that spreads them, I presume, as well.
Don't
just try and keep away from them.
Yeah, as much as you can, try and keep away from it. Like the cream I have, it has some antiviral herbs in it. And if you can feel that tingling coming on, that's common, then put it on. And sometimes there's also clove essential oil in there. It can kill the virus, and it doesn't come to the surface.
Right. So when you feel the tingling, you should try and
well, that's the viral activity. But in general, look at the immune system.
Okay. Anything to recommend for restless leg syndrome?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Restless leg syndrome. It's not very well understood by the scientific community.
What is it? What happens?
Yeah, so it's generally here are the symptoms is that generally happens at night in bed. That you just it's worse then, but it can happen during the day. You just get this unbearable need to kind of move your legs.
Okay.
Or a leg.
So do your legs seem to want to move themselves? You
so
can't
you feel like
them.
you have to move them. So if you can imagine that if you're lying in bed and you want to relax and go to sleep, but you feel you have to move your legs, it can become and sometimes it heats up. Their legs can be very hot, and they might have to kick them out of the bed and so on. Again, it's as I was talking earlier about cramps and stuff. With restless leg syndrome, one thing I do recommend is magnesium, but also a diet that facilitates magnesium, calcium and electrolytes, because that can improve it. Where restless leg could be a spasm of a chronic spasm of the muscles, and getting electrolytes and the good minerals in there will be of benefit. Also, food allergies have been linked to restless leg syndrome. So, I'd step through in a consultation. I'd step through a full diet and try and localise what could be a problematic food, and they can try that. I know there was a book written by a guy who suffered from restless leg syndrome for many years. Tried all the conventional treatments and the natural treatments, and with no resolve, and he then saw a nutritionist who took him off dairy, and it completely went away.
Really? So it was just something in the diet that was doing that to him.
So, but then it doesn't seem to be the fix for everyone. That if everyone give up dairy, it might work for some. So it's
not
a bit,
for everyone.
Yeah, it's a bit of a multifactorial approach to it, but it is a difficult one to treat in that there's not much understanding on why it happens.
Okay, this listener suffers with sciatic nerve, taking Diphenol on advice from the GP. Is there anything you could recommend?
Yeah, well, again, some sort of exercise or stretching that would exercise the lower back. So sciatic is a nerve. It's all spawning from the lower back, but it can run down, be painful, and can run down across the leg, to cuss across the knee and down into the ankle. And so some people might think it's kind of a thing that's wrong with their ankle or their knee, but it actually comes from the lower back. So with that, if you have a desk job or you drive a lot, I look at stretching and exercises that would keep that area well exercised, the lower back.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you think people, because they have a pain in their lower back, that are afraid to exercise because they're thinking it's going to do it harm? But is it better to get it doing proper?
I'm not recommending strenuous exercise, but things like, in a swimming pool, you can walk in the water. Aquatherapy is good, or just hot baths can be good for that area. Walking is really good. Swimming is really good. Cycling is good. But if you have an injury like that, moderation. But light stretches are great. I also give a balm, arnica balm, with some good oils that are rubefacient, so they draw circulation to the area of the sciatic nerve, and that can help a lot.
Okay. Now, anything for candida?
Yeah, again, it's a bit of an overall approach to candida. If one has candida overgrowth, One, it's kind of a hard thing to diagnose. Some people say, oh yeah, I got a stool analysis and there was candida there, and in general candida should be there, it should be in the gut under certain quantities, but it's where it overgrows, it can cause a lot of problems. And so it's one is the symptom picture is quite big, so I always work out, do they really have a candida problem or a fungal problem? And then there's the treatment is, you know, maybe 5 or 6 fold. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to treat, and it can be there for years. Diet is a big one. Reduce sugars and anything that turns into sugar, because candida is a fungus or yeast. It's anaerobic microorganism, so it needs sugar to proliferate and survive and stuff. So you want to watch high sugar diets and really reduce that. That along with antifungal herbs, also some enzymes I use the odd time, and then there's things you can kind of remove from the diet that could also feed you. So possible things are the higher level fungus themselves, so mushrooms, vinegar, alcohol, peanuts to a certain extent, in that they tend to have aflatoxins or yeast growth on them at really low levels, but they can exacerbate it. So again, it's a difficult one. And
probably need to sit down and see this person down with
it always takes me a bit of a while to go through, but it's a kind of, you approach it from a number of angles, and then it takes a bit of time. But you know, if it's depends on how it's affecting. If it's affecting digestion, a lot of bloating, flatulence and stuff like that, or fatigue, headaches, and so on, or recurrent thrush, either vaginal, oral, or even in the armpits or the groin, like, it can respond very well to a good diet, some antifungal herbs, and a kind of an overall approach to it.
To watch your diet. Okay, Gabriel, and just before I let you go, this lady says that her 2 sons suffer with mouth ulcers very regular.
Right. Mouth ulcers, I wonder, are they in the corner of the mouth, or are they actually inside in the mouth on the gum? And the reason I ask, it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'd assess for allergies, but I'd also assess for a poor diet and poor digestion. So are they there? Are they also in combination with diarrhea or constipation? Because, you know, the digestive tract runs from the mouth right through to the anus, and sometimes on the mouth can be an indicator of the condition of the digestive tract. And watch things that kind of exacerbate it, like again, salts and vinegars and things that can kind of get into the mouth ulcers and make them worse and slow down healing. I'd also boost immune function there as well.
Okay, Gabriel, listen, thanks a million for joining us, and of course you're taking a break now for Christmas, and you're back with us again in the new year.
Yeah, so okay. Happy Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone.
And you'll have us all back then on nice healthy diets after Christmas.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, all right, and just before we take